And Obamacare sign-ups have not slowed down. They are matching now last year's sign-up rate. So is the law really imploding? To conservative commentator Gina Loudon and former D.C. Democratic Party Chairman Scott Bolden. Good to see you both. Scott, first to you, if I could. I'm just wondering if you think it's possible to do what the president said to get any Democratic support on health care reform.
It's not going to be possible to get any Democratic support in 2018, but here's the news flash. It's going to be impossible for the Republicans to do anything with health care, as divisive as it is, with the backdrop being the 2018 midterms. Just not going to happen. Now, there probably should be some changes to the Obama bill, but the individual mandate, they pulled that back, but several other options are still in that.
All right, I want to talk about those options, but Gina, first to you, it is hard to imagine what, particularly over the past couple of months, what the Democrats and Republicans could agree to on health care.
Well, perhaps we could start looking at facts rather than feelings, as we've been trying to convince the Democrats to do ever since the election. And we could talk about what deregulation has done for our American economy. If you apply that same template to our health care, it will give Americans more choices. It will boost their power in the market, and it will lower costs for everyone. And so it's common sense. It's economics 101. A lot of times Democrats don't want to listen to that, but that's the answer.
Well, Scott, you mentioned the ending of the individual mandate and how that's going to be a problem. Some people think it could, some Democrats actually think it could lead to some serious problems for Obamacare, including Representative Pascrell. He was one of the people who actually designed and wrote up Obamacare, and I'm going to quote him now. He said, they, referring to Republicans, obviously couldn't kill it, so they're trying to starve it slowly. That doesn't sound like good news for those of you who are in favor of keeping Obamacare.
Well, that's one person's opinion. The reality is this: if the individual mandate goes and has gone away, then the results of that, we'll have to take a look at what happens in 2019. But here's the problem for Democrats and Republicans: if the individual mandate has its impact, and you have healthy people not signing up because they won't get penalized for it, you're going to have a very significant insurance pool of sick people. That's going to drive the premiums up, and then what's going to happen next?
Well, it sounds like sounds like you're describing an end to Obamacare.
Well, no. What I think the government's going to do, and what McConnell's going to do, and this is their Republican government now, they're in control, they're going to have to support and financially support these insurance markets, because otherwise, not only are premiums going to go up, but they're also,
think that's going to happen.
Yeah, well,
go ahead,
of course it's going to happen. But in any event, they're going to have to financially support it in some way. Mitch McConnell believes that, and while they may be divisive, that's simply going to have to happen.
But Gina,
otherwise, millions are going to be off the insurance rolls.
Already Republicans are concerned about people out there thinking they're too close to corporations because of the tax. If they were to bail out insurance companies as a result to save Obamacare, that wouldn't fly, would it?
Well, they're saying,
hold on, that's for Gina.
Go ahead, Gina. That's a bad idea, and this is precisely the problem with socializing anything, is that it doesn't work. The market doesn't bear it out. When you have a free society where 20%, just imagine that for a moment. I mean, I think sometimes we forget how much of our economy is all involved in this whole Obamacare, but 20% of our economy is all wrapped up in what is essentially socialized. It doesn't work. This whole premise will never work in a free society. We need to further reduce the corporate mandate. That's the answer. And then we will see the lack of regulations let the free market thrive, and everyone will be doing better, including the insurance companies, but most importantly, including the patients. And one additional thing, remember that more than 80% of the people who ended up paying the fees with Obamacare make less than $50,000 a year. This is not helping the middle class.
I promised I wanted to, hold on a second, I promised I wanted to hear your opinions of where Republicans and Democrats could agree to tweak the health care system and make it better. Quickly.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. There's so much political bad blood between them. I do think that they have to figure out how to keep those insurance premiums down and reasonable so you don't have these spikes and what have you. But America is choosing Obamacare, including the very voters that the Republicans want to vote for them. They're choosing it. 12
Scott,
million people
I started with
up.
you. I want to end with Gina. Gina, what specifically could Republicans and Democrats agree on and how to tweak Obamacare?
I think taking a look at who is really being hurt by this, and that is the poor and the middle class. They are the ones bearing the brunt of it. It's the sick people, because they're not going to have the healthy people in the pools. And those are the things we can agree on to move forward, to fix it, to free it up, based on what we just did in deregulating things in our economy.
Folks, we are facing a hard break, but we got to leave it at that. Gina and Scott, good to see you both. Thank you very much. Still ahead, why the recent UN budget